And hi everybody out there, Mark Mannering here from Class Training with another 3-minute tips and tricks. 3 tips in 3 minutes, more or less, although I'll probably go a bit over time with this important issue about OneDrive, SharePoint and Teams. Everyone asks me, where do the documents all sit? If we share documents in OneDrive, it goes to SharePoint, I know, but what about Teams? If we share documents through Teams, where do they all sit as well? How can I access them more easily? How does it all work together? How do the 3 of these things work together? So as you should know already, when you share your documents from OneDrive, they show up in your SharePoint space. But how exactly does that work? And what about Teams? As I said, if I share documents through Teams, where do they sit? Is it through SharePoint, through OneDrive, or whatever? So we're going to be covering all that, and let's get into it. Tip number 1, as you might already know, is the main difference between OneDrive and SharePoint. So as you might know, OneDrive is your files, your documents, your filing cabinet. No one else can get to your OneDrive. But as you should know, when you share documents from your OneDrive, it shows up in the SharePoint space. So SharePoint is your organization's filing cabinet and documents and so on that are shared across the organization. Now, some organizations have disabled OneDrive. They've decided not to use OneDrive and just to use SharePoint for all document management. So you can have your documents in SharePoint, and by changing the permissions and so on, no one else can get to your SharePoint area. But what about Teams? If we've got Teams, we've got our organization's activities. So as you know, Teams, you can chat, message with each other. You can also run online meetings and so on. But what about documents and files that you share via Teams? Well, they also will show up in the SharePoint space. So the following tips are going to be covering that in detail. And just quickly, as you would know, the other SharePoint features include your electronic notice board, your intranet for announcements, newsletters, and so on. So tip number 2, how does Teams interact or integrate with SharePoint? Well, I'll explain it first and show you a live example. As you would know, in Teams, you have your team and channels. So here I've got my HR and training team, and underneath the HR and training team, we've got the various channels, confidential issues, latest regulations, and so on. Now, as soon as you create a team in Microsoft Teams and you create those channels as well, they get converted automatically without you having to do anything into the SharePoint space. And with this example, you can see the HR and training team is converted into a SharePoint space or SharePoint site, also known as a SharePoint group. And in fact, you can see the little Teams icon next to HR and training on the right there, which allows you to actually click and go to the corresponding team in Microsoft Teams. With the channels underneath there, they get converted automatically into folders inside the documents library. Now, just to illustrate that, here's my live Teams app, and you can see my HR and training team here. You can see the channels that I just saw in the particular screenshot. There's training and personal development. To confirm or clarify this has been converted into the corresponding SharePoint site and folders, I can go to the particular channel. I clicked on training and personal development there, and I can go to the Files tab here. And to verify that the corresponding SharePoint elements have been set up, I can go to the 3 dots button here and go to Open in SharePoint. Clicking that, it now opens up the corresponding SharePoint browser and shows me pretty much what I showed you in the screenshot. The actual channel folders, I can expand this here and we'll see the same folders as back in Teams. And tip number 3 is to use File Explorer, which makes it all easy from the point of view of document management, renaming files, cutting and pasting, uploading documents, and so on. You can all do it through File Explorer, including editing your documents and so on. So as you know, OneDrive has your own filing cabinet. You share that with people in your organization or outside the organization. That will show up in the SharePoint space. The same with Teams. Sharing documents through Teams shows up in the SharePoint space, but the 3 of them together can be managed and seen in File Explorer. So File Explorer can manage the whole lot. So now I've just opened up my File Explorer, and you can see here on the left-hand side is my SharePoint space already synced up in File Explorer, and you have to set that up at once and once only. And there's my HR and training team and the particular training and personal development channel linked or synced, I should say, synced in File Explorer. If I scroll up a bit more, I can see my OneDrive shown as well. So that would have to be set up as well. Now you'll notice that, just clarifying something, that each channel within your particular team needs to be set up. So that's the policies and procedures channel in my HR and training team, and there's a training and PD channel inside HR and training. So if I want to do some sharing with my team through that particular channel, all I've got to do is bring or move documents into here into my File Explorer. I don't need to log on to the Teams app. So what I've done here is put side by side two folders for my File Explorer. This will be easier with two screens, obviously. And on the left-hand side, I've just got my desktop, my offline desktop on my device, and I can see my Word document, the staff training plan. Now I want to share that with my particular HR and training team through the training and PD channel. All I've got to do is drag or cut and paste, copy and paste the document from here over to a corresponding team space in File Explorer on the right-hand side here. Now that file is automatically synchronizing through my Teams space. I don't need to click anything to make it synced. And if I go back to the Teams area with the same team and channel, and there's a corresponding team and channel, I just click the Files tab, and there it is at the bottom. So if anybody wants to access that document through Teams, they can do it through Teams itself, or they would also sync their relevant teams and channels with their particular File Explorer, and we can all work on the File Explorer app. Almost done, so sorry I just went a little bit overboard, but if you've got any questions about that, Mark Mannering, there's my email address. Now we run courses on this, on live online sessions. There's OneDrive, SharePoint, so have a look over there on the screen or down here. Also another separate session on Microsoft Teams. So have a look at that if it's relevant. We've definitely got a couple of those coming up. But if you've got any queries or would like us to run a session just for yourselves, for your personnel, just get in touch with me. Okay, Mark Mannering signing off. Until next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.